Okay, ready, Mo? We just need a few minutes and I can take this off. Hey, everybody, it's Santa Momo. It's Santa Momo for Christmas. Right, Momo? You're Santa. Yes, you are. You're plump and jolly like Santa. Okay, I'll take it off. Problem is, this barely fits Momo's neck. I'm going to have to make a Momo-sized Santa. Right, Momo? Good boy. Thank you. Do you want to go sleep now? Okay, go sleep now. That was not just to torture poor Momo, although it sort of filled that purpose, right, Momo? Right. Oh, I got to wipe your nose. Momo's sick again, but he was a good sport about that. Yeah, I wanted to make this video for everybody, but especially people who are going through a rough time this time of year. It is a difficult time of year for people. It is. There's no way around that. Wow, I have way too many layers on. That's okay. But it's a rough time of year for a lot of people because of expectations or what they'd like the holidays to be like, or what they think the holidays are supposed to be like versus what they are. And so I just wanted to send out this message because it is a difficult time for a lot of people. Between like now and the new year is a time a lot of people take stock of their lives, and a lot of people, for a lot of reasons right now, their lives are not where anyone would want them to be. And that is not your fault. We all have things we have to endure. Just because this holiday isn't what you'd want it to be doesn't mean you failed or you've done anything wrong. What it means is that you've had a challenging time of it lately, and that, you should be commended for getting through, as opposed to feeling like you've done something wrong because things aren't a Hallmark movie. Though some of those hard Hallmark movies are pretty freaking raw. I admit to not understanding the Hallmark movies, but that's neither here nor there. There's a lot of pressure on people at this time of year. There's a lot of stress on people at this time of year. People are pushed into situations where they may be seeing family members who are not terribly kind to them, or they may have to suffer through disapproving parents. I mean, most people on this channel are gamers. We have our share of disapproving parent moments. Am I right? I'm right. Or it's just that reminder that the people who are quote unquote supposed to be there for you aren't. And that's hard. That's really hard to realize. There's a lot of stuff out right now that is doing like a family of origin versus family of choice thing. There's an element of that in the latest Star Wars movie. Expanse Season 4 has a bunch of emphasis on family. Runaways certainly had that. Certainly had that in my beloved Death Stranding. Death Stranding that came out. Death Stranding. Very different thing. But I think it's because a lot of people are feeling like if their families are not, that TV show thing or like perfect thing, that there's something wrong with them. And just because there's something wrong with your family, if you can recognize that, there's a very good chance that the problem isn't you. The world is a complicated place right now. And a lot of people are falling into the desire to attack and judge and just shove away anything that makes them question anything. And that's often what happens to us more nerdy types. We're not. I was the kid that my dad went out in the backyard and played catch with. I always got the sense that my father would have been happier if he'd had a boy, but he got me. And you know, both my parents were sort of disappointed in how I turned out, in terms of I wasn't a boy and I wasn't a proper girly girl. They had my sister for the girly girl. And I have had to sort of reclaim this time of year over the years, because even if Christmas, and I think maybe especially if Christmas doesn't have a religious connotation for you, because if it's a religious connotation, right, you can go to your church and find community there. But if you don't have that, and Christmas is supposed to be family time, and your family kind of sucks or is far away, it can be a shitty time of year. And this is why, for all the issues with the internet and social media, I'm really glad we have it, because at least with social media, even though, you know, us nerdy types are kind of spread out all over the place, we can be there for each other in spirit. You know, we can check in on each other. I've gotten a few very touching messages from people who are just viewers of my content. Some people who used to be patrons and couldn't afford to be anymore, and yet they stay in touch. And those people are very precious for me, because I'm glad that, you know, I know when they have the money, they will come back, but I want them to stay part of the community, because money isn't the only value a viewer of my content or a subscriber to my content has. You guys have made this channel a big part of what it is, especially with the move on to Twitch. The content and identity of my Twitch content and this YouTube content has been driven by the generosity of spirit that you guys have shown. And a lot of people don't know that this YouTube channel was started in a moment. You may have found this channel because of a read essay, an essay I read and put up as a YouTube video about a time I almost legit quit doing anything to do with games journalism or commentary, analysis, everything. Just quit, gave it up. And this channel kept me in it. This channel has definitely been collectively the most positive experience I have ever had in gaming. And it's because you guys are supportive. You are very giving of your opinions and your personal information. You know, you challenge me in good ways instead of just that sort of criticism thing that happens online. I see the difference in the way that a regular viewer here comments when they disagree, and how sort of the unruly mob of the internet does it. And that is informed some of the stuff I'm going to do in a later video. I'm going to do a New Year's resolution video later on about what my resolutions are for the year going forward. But this is the gratitude video. This is the you are important and you are special. It may not seem like much, but I've seen the way people are horrible online. But thanks to you guys, I have also seen the good, the very legitimate good that that people have had online. And that has so affected my opinions about this space, about this community, about this medium, having bore witness to that. You might see around the edges. I have not had a kind life. I have not had a life where a huge amount of kindness was granted my way. In school, I was very lucky to have, especially high school. It's interesting. First grade, and then kind of sixth grade, because sixth grade was the teacher that let me play Dungeons and Dragons in class with two guys. And then, middle school, there was some of it, but then I hit high school and there were a handful of teachers who really, really appreciated me. And ever since then, I have not had that until you guys. And even when you guys don't understand where I'm coming from, you try. And you are the reason I keep coming back for more when the alt-right and people don't like the control left, but I'm going to say it, the control left, the people who just try to shout people down instead of actually effectively advocating in what I believe advocacy to be. I keep taking the shit and getting back up and keep going because you guys have been open, and I've seen the sort of journey we've taken together, and I've seen people who don't know each other in real life, who just know each other as screen names on the internet, show such a kindness of spirit and help people through and debate stuff. Yeah, but there can be a really heated debate 1 minute, and then if somebody says, my grandmother is sick, or my aunt is sick, or my dad died, or I lost my dog passed away, people are there for each other. And that is not always the case in online communities, but I came into this with an expectation of that's what gaming is. That's what the video game community is. Because, I think about the same type of guy who would kind of shove me and getaway kid anywhere else in an arcade. Okay, come on, kid, play. I'm talking when I was really little. I was in arcades at 3. Yeah. But, and then, going over a friend's house to play Crystal Castles. And I was the only girl there and didn't even notice until years later. It was just a bunch of gamers, and those moments where everybody was playing Metroid and you knew the people who finished the game because it was I got a secret. And then, the sort of generational shared moment of the original Resident Evil scaring the crap out of all of us because we were not prepared. It doesn't seem scary by modern standards, but there was nothing like that out there, anywhere. It was the sounds. It was the sounds that got you. But then, meeting new friends over Super Mario 3, getting into, discovering a completely new type of female role model through the Tomb Raider games at a time where Kate Moss, with all her twig-like skinniness, was the female ideal at the time. And then Lara Croft and Sonya Blade and Kitana and Melina and Tomb Raider came along and gave teenagers of all genders role models and women who were valued and respected and desired all in one. They weren't just models. They weren't just things to look at like the waif models in the Calvin Klein ads. They were women who did things. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. And I know that younger gamers coming in it has not been the same juxtaposition of experiences. And so there's been a little bit of stuff lost because there's no way to put into words how difficult it was to be a teenage woman when the feminine ideal looked frail and weak, and they called it heroin chic, and to have these alternative role models which were super important. I mean, there's a reason that Nicki Minaj made a song about Chun-Li, right? There's a reason that we see so many references to video game characters and superheroes and all that stuff. We are people who believe in heroes, not perfected heroes. They're not always good guys through and through, but we believe in heroes, and we believe that individuals who play to their strengths can make positive change in the world, not by screaming at someone online, because you never see our gaming heroes do that, right? They do it by getting up and getting off their butts and doing stuff and doing the hard thing. We're also people who believe in choice and individual freedoms and individuality and autonomy. And this may be the common thing that binds us together. Even though we may disagree on everything else, we can come together with that common purpose. The entity that counts is the individual. The ability to choose, and by extension, the ability to play, is sacrosanct. And that's very important. And whatever disagreements we have otherwise, we can find common cause in that. And I think that's powerful. So, if you're feeling like a loser, or you're feeling like you're worthless because you don't have a family to go to, or your family kind of sucks, or they made you feel bad, I hope this drives home that you do count, that you have made a difference, not just in my life. And it's been a tough year for me on personal reasons. The patrons have known about this stuff, both health wise, and then the loss of my stepdad. But you guys matter. You matter, and you show the goodness of spirit that you possess in the way that you interact with my content and in comments and with each other and all that stuff. And you come from very different backgrounds. This is a very diverse group in every sense of the word. But you manage to find that common ground that a lot of people believe is not possible. And that's a superpower in this day and age. Play is a superpower. Being able to find the fun in life, to believe in joy, to believe in fun. That is powerful in an era that has forgotten it, where everything has to be relevant or meaningful or all that chazarai. If you don't know what that word means, don't worry. But that matters. And we're going to get back to a time, I promise you, because pendulums always swing. We're going to get back to a period where fun is like trendy again, where it's okay for things to just be fun and not have some immediate relevant social justice point. Because if you look at all those games that we just enjoyed for fun, a lot of them do actually have like an affirming thing at their core. Even Grand Theft Auto in its way, though I think that might have stopped with maybe Grand Theft Auto 3. Well, at least the Grand Theft Auto 3 era, last few games. I don't know. But even then, like, there's sort of moments of light. There's a morality to them. And the point is, when you play a game knowing you're playing as a bad dude, you are affirming goodness because you know you're not playing a good person. So, I am taking a bit of a break just because people are busy, not really around. I am, there will be content for you to continue to watch because I'm pre-recording. But, yeah, please never believe that you don't have value, because you do. I've read your comments. I've seen your chat messages. I've seen your tweets. You have had an impact on me. You have had an impact on the other people in this channel, and that's meaningful. So that's the message I wanna send to you. 'Tis the season, right? So see you in the new year. Like I said, there will be videos, but for those of you who, because it's Christmas Eve, this last one you get to watch, see you in 2020.